You can feel it in the room. Something was clear, but then someone important doesn't like it. The tone changes. Not officially, just enough. A few softer words, a different version, one more pass. 5 minutes ago, it was settled. Now, it's worth revisiting. You can tell early. Some places sound solid. They have language for process, standards, ways of working. And then pressure arrives. A deadline gets tightened. Someone senior pushes. A person reacts badly. And the thing that sounded settled started moving. Not because the facts changed, but because the room did. It changes when pressure enters. It only sounds like a standard until someone has to hold it. There are always someone moving it. Not loudly. Not by saying the rule is gone. They do it carefully. They say things like, this one's different. Or, no, let's be sensible. Or even better still, we need to be pragmatic. It sounds reasonable because that's what it's for. Nobody says we're changing the standard. They just start speaking like this case sits outside it. And the room follows. Because that is easier than holding the line and taking the friction. Because nobody says it changed. It just changes. The rule holds right up until it costs someone something. It works in the moment because you don't generally get confrontation and no sharp edges. No one has to be the one who says no, and the room gets relief. Things keep moving. Nobody has to sit in discomfort of a clear decision. It feels flexible, human, responsive, and that's why it survives. It gets everyone out of this moment clean. It keeps the room easy, and everyone gets to keep working without having to admit the standard has moved. But then the room learns, not from a policy, not from what gets said, but what moves. People start watching who reacts hardest, who matters most and what gets bent. After a while, the room stops listening for the standard. It starts listening for the wobble. So people stop bringing things cleanly anymore. Well, why would they? They've already learned clarity won't be what decides it. Because people stop trusting what holds. And after a while, nobody listens to the rule. They listen for who can move it. I've sat in rooms like that. Something gets agreed, and it's clear enough. Then someone reacts. And it's not with better evidence or even a stronger standard. They just apply pressure. And then the language softens. A different version appears. And something that was settled 5 minutes ago is suddenly open again. And nobody's there to say what happened, but everyone saw it. And after that, you're not really listening for the decision anymore. You're listening to who can move it. Because the room teaches you what's real. And once you see it fast. You can tell within minutes whether anything in that room is actually held. Not by words, not by document, not by what people say they stand for. But what happens when someone wants it bent? If it holds, if it's real, if it shifts with the room, it was never really there in the first place. It changes depending on who's upset. They go, that's enough. You don't need a theory after that. Just need to watch what moves. That's the tell. There are rooms you've been in and something was decided. Then someone pushes, the tone changes, the thing softened. You didn't say anything. Nobody did. But you knew. Where are you calling something a standard that only lasts until someone important doesn't like it?